Manor Consulting is a successful consulting firm that analyzes management practices and issues and provides recommendations improving organizations as a whole. Here is an overview of what will be covered in the presentation. The Manor team is head up by President Natasha Mason, whose main responsibility is integrating the report with APA format and producing the executive summary. The Vice President, Matthew Silvernail, is in charge of designing the logo and overall PowerPoint presentation and video. The Secretary and Treasurer, Amanda Quinones and Antoinette Brown, respectively, focused on the research and main body of the report. Renisha Harris, the team's assistant, put together the introduction and conclusion of the report. Our agenda is to evaluate and improve the managerial performance of Bank of America based on issues managing a diverse workforce and its management style. Customer satisfaction is our number one concern at Manor Consulting. Bank of America is the result of many different mergers and acquisitions. In 1998, Nations Bank and Bank America Corporation merged to become Bank of America. In 2004, Bank of America established a presence in the northeast portion of the U.S. with its purchase of Fleet Boston Financial Corporation. In 2009, it became a global organization with the acquisition of Merrill Lynch. Bank of America serves three groups of customers and clients. These include people, companies, and institutional investors. It offers a wide range of products and services, including life insurance, auto loans, mortgages, identity theft protection, international wire transfers, and credit cards, to name a few. Bank of America is truly a growing global organization. With operations based in 40 countries, it is properly equipped to serve all clients located in more than 150 countries. In the United States, over 57 million consumers and small businesses have access to 5,770 retail banking offices and 17,750 ATMs. A few issues involved in managing a diverse workforce include recognizing injustices or prejudices and quickly putting a stop to them before they escalate or become commonplace. Reverse discrimination and preferential treatment for minorities that arises as the balance of power begins to shift, and following through with disciplinary action if new behaviors and norms are not followed. Bank of America has taken the initiative to manage its diverse workforce by creating the Global Diversity and Inclusion Council, the Global Diversity and Inclusion Organization, and Diversity and Inclusion Business and Regional Councils. They've also organized nearly 200 affinity group chapters worldwide.
In 2012, Bank of America has plans to continue their current diversity and inclusion policies and strategies. Within their organization, they plan to increase the representation, development, and retention of women and people of diverse races and ethnic backgrounds. They look forward to expanding their support of the U.S. military community through the ongoing work of the Military Affairs Advisory Group, which was recently created to coordinate programs across the company to provide greater assistance to military service members and their families through philanthropy, hiring, customer service, and employee engagement. Bank of America will continue to drive leadership engagement and accountability to build a diverse talent pipeline and foster a diverse and inclusive environment. The process of managing diversity is a long term strategic intervention aimed at changing workplace relationships in order to seduce systemic injustice and economic exploitation and create more effective and productive working relationships throughout an organization. This process consists of three phases: education and awareness, capacity building, and culture change. Change must begin with management. In the education and awareness stage, all levels of management should attend a diversity workshop or training program. These programs should be instructed or led by a group of diverse individuals, people of all races, genders, religions, and sexual orientations. In this training, it is critical for management to understand that an individual's values, beliefs, and background compose their unique perceptions. Managers must be able to recognize injustices or prejudices and quickly put a stop to them before they escalate or become commonplace. Capacity building involves management's role in promoting diversity throughout an organization's policies, practices, groups, audits, and other systems. To ensure its success, top management must critically observe this process from beginning to end. Phase 2 is most successful when internal champions provide leadership for examining and changing policies and procedures. Such champions also confront the inevitable question of reverse discrimination and preferential treatment for minorities that arise as the balance of power begins to shift. In the final phase, management should compile a list of behaviors and norms that promote diversity throughout the organization. These norms must be applied and distributed throughout each facet of the organization. If these behaviors and norms are not followed, disciplinary action must be taken. Over time, these behaviors will become the norm and diversity will become more acceptable and prominent throughout the organization. Promoting diversity is a perpetual battle. To maintain and enhance diversity, this program should be repeated. After each cycle, the program should be reviewed and altered to reflect the organization's current stance on diversity. At this time, new goals, norms, and potential risks should be introduced and addressed.
Bank of America has formed a plan identified as New Project BAC. This plan has the end goal of cutting costs and improving efficiency within the company. Some of the major points of this plan include creating processes which can help reduce and eliminate redundant work, laying off employees, closing low performance branches, and cutting loose ends that could reduce expenses. To organize New Project BAC, Bank of America assigned 44 current executives and brought in 2 consulting firms to overlook the process. Under this supervision, 30,000 jobs were to be cut and the remaining workload was to be evaluated and dispersed evenly without affecting efficiency. An internal campaign was also orchestrated to provide feedback and ideas to lower level employees that could help reduce expenses. The planning and organizing of New Project BAC is being controlled in several ways. One example of the control process is the way in which Bank of America is cutting 30,000 jobs. These layoffs will be based on individual, department, and organizational performance. Prior to New Project BAC, the company decided to replace CEO Ken Lewis with Brian Monahan because of the unfavorable financial situation it was in due to poor decisions from the former leader. Manor Consulting has found several suggestions to improve Bank of America's situation. Bank of America's lack of transparency with the public resulted in several lawsuits and loss of faith from the public. Many of the lawsuits against it were concerning information that it did not disclose prior to buying Merrill Lynch, and many investors voiced concerns that Bank of America's financial documents and reports do not properly reflect the current state of the company. Improving the transparency with the public will restore faith and therefore encourage more investments into the company. If Bank of America maintains a higher liquidity rate, interest rates would decrease and could spur economic growth. Through research, we have learned that Bank of America was formed by the merger of Nations Bank and Bank America Corporation in 1998. Since then, it has developed numerous organizations to aid in managing diversity, including nearly 200 affinity groups. The financial crisis and some poor decisions led to the replacement of the former CEO, Ken Lewis. The new CEO, Brian Monahan, has implemented New Project BAC to cut costs and improve efficiency.